In the bustling town of Rivertown, there lived three friends who shared a passion for architecture and real estate: Emily, Jake, and Lily. They often spent their weekends exploring old neighborhoods, marveling at historic buildings, and dreaming about one day owning their own homes. One sunny Saturday afternoon, they stumbled upon an open house sign in front of a charming Victorian style home. Curiosity piqued. They decided to take a look inside. The house was filled with ornate details: stained glass windows and a grand staircase that seemed to lead to another era. As they wandered through the rooms, they met Mr. Thompson, a friendly appraiser who was evaluating the property. Intrigued by his work, Emily, Jake, and Lily bombarded him with questions. Mr. Thompson smiled and said, "Well, when appraising a property, there are three main approaches we consider to determine its value: the sales comparison approach, the cost approach, and the income capitalization approach." He explained, "The sales comparison approach is like comparing apples to apples. We look at recent sales of similar properties in the area, known as comparables. By analyzing these sales and adjusting for any differences in size, condition, or features, we can estimate the value of the subject property." Emily nodded eagerly, recalling a similar concept from her economics class. "So it's like checking what similar houses nearby have sold for to figure out a fair price?" "Exactly," Mr. Thompson replied with a nod. "It's one of the most common methods used, especially for residential homes like this one." Moving on, Mr. Thompson continued, "The cost approach is like building a property from scratch. Here, we calculate the cost to replace the property with a similar one, taking into account depreciation and obsolescence. This method is useful for unique properties or when there aren't enough comparable sales available." Lily, who loved numbers and calculations, raised her hand. "So it's about figuring out how much it would cost to build this house brand new, minus any wear and tear?" "Exactly," Mr. Thompson smiled. "It helps us understand the property's value based on what it would cost to recreate it today." Now, for properties that generate income, like rental buildings or commercial spaces, Mr. Thompson continued, we use the income capitalization approach. This method focuses on the property's potential income and its ability to generate cash flow. Jake, who had dreams of owning a small business one day, leaned in with interest. "So it's about figuring out how much income this property could bring in and then valuing it based on that?" "Spot on," Mr. Thompson nodded. "By estimating the property's potential income, we can determine its value as an investment." As Mr. Thompson finished explaining, Emily, Jake, and Lily exchanged excited glances, amazed at how many factors went into determining a property's value. They thanked Mr. Thompson for his time and insight before bidding farewell and continuing their exploration of Rivertown.